the fourth root of 16 over x. What that means is you have the fourth root of 16 divided by the fourth root of x. Well, this is a fourth root, so that means you need 4 things under there for it to go away. So you need to multiply by the fourth root of x to the third, because you have 1x, you just need 3 more. And so whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. And so what you end up having is the fourth root of 16x to the third divided by the fourth root of 4x's. And those 4x's cross out, and you just end up with an x on the bottom. On the top, you have the fourth root of 4 2's, because 16 is 4 times 4, and each 4 can be broken up into their own 2, and 3 x's. So those 4 2's come out of a fourth root, leaving you with just 2 at the top. And so your final answer is 2 fourth root x to the third divided by x. Okay, let's try one more fourth root. So let's say we have the fourth root of 2y over z. So what that equals is the fourth root of 2y divided by the fourth root of z. So we have 1z under there, we need 3 more, so we multiply that times the fourth root of z to the third. And so also the tops gets multiplied by fourth root of z to the third. So what we end up having is the fourth root at the numerator of 2y z to the third, because you just put those together, divided by the fourth root of 4z's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4z's will come out of a fourth root and just leave you with z. And the top will just be the fourth root of 2y z to the third. Okay, let's say we have a problem 3 divided by 4 plus square root of y plus square root of 5. Okay, this is a problem where you can't have a denominator with any kind of root in it. So what you do is you rationalize the denominator. If you remember from the beginning of this video, if you have a plus b times a minus b, if it looks in that form, then you can write it as a squared minus b squared. So we're trying to get rid of the bottom, which is 4 plus square root of 5. We multiply it by 4 minus square root of 5. From top and bottom, minus square root of 5. So this is like a plus b times a minus b. So the result for the bottom is going to be a squared, which is 16, minus b squared, which is 5. And 16 minus 5 will give us 11. So the top, we bunny hop to 3, and we have 12 minus 3 square root of 5. And the bottom, we have 11. So this is the simplified version of that. Whenever you see a denominator with 2 things on the bottom, you must think a squared minus b squared, and the a plus b times the a minus b. Let's try another one. Let's say we have 2 over 3 square root of 5 plus 2 square root of 3. So we have to rationalize this denominator. So we multiply it by the opposite, which is 3 square root of 5 minus 2 square root of 3 times the bottom, and 3 square root of 5 minus 2 square root of 3 times the top. Now, looking at this one, this is in the form a plus b, a minus b. So what we do is we square the first part. So 3 square root of 5, I'll write it out, squared, minus 2 square root of 3 squared. Well, 3 square root of 5 is going to be 9 times 5, which gives us 45. Because when you square 3, you get 9. When you square the square root of 5, you get 5. Minus 2 squared, which is 4, times square root of 3 squared, which is 3. So this is going to be 45 minus 12. Which gives us 33 at the bottom. And so we bunny hop the top, and we end up with 6 square root of 5 minus 4 square root of 3, all divided by a 33. And this will be our final answer. Let's say we have the square root of x minus square root of y, and we're dividing that by square root of x plus square root of y. Well, we can't have square roots on the bottom, so we multiply the bottom by square root of x minus square root of y, and we also have to multiply the top by the same thing. Well, looking at the formula, a plus b, a minus b, this denominator is going to be x minus y, because you square the square root of x to get x, and you square the square root of y to get y, and then you subtract them. The problem here, we're going to have to multiply the top out. So doing it on the side over here, we have square root of x times the square root of x, which gives us the square root of x squared. Then we have the square root of x times the square root of y, which gives us minus square root of xy. Then we have negative square root of I, y times square root of x, gives us minus the square root of xy. And then negative square root of y times negative square root of y, which gives us a positive square root of y squared. So the middle two, they add up to give us a minus 2 square root of xy, because you got minus 1 here and minus 1 here. Square root of x squared is just x, and square root of y squared is just y. So the top is going to be x minus 2 square root of xy plus y. And that'll be the final answer for this one. Let's say we had a problem like this. 3 minus 3 square roots of 5 divided by 3. You don't have to worry about rationalizing the denominator because there's no square root on the denominator, although this problem isn't simplified. If you look at this, this is one piece, this is one piece. These two pieces have in common, they have a 3. So if you pull a 3 out, you'll be ended up with a 1 minus square root of 5 at the left, because 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times the square root of 5 is 3 square roots of 5, divided by 3. So it simplifies are the 3's, and so your final answer will be 1 minus square root of 5. Let's say you were given 12 minus 9 square root of 72, and that was divided by 18. Well, square root of 72 can be broken up. So this would be 12 minus 9. 72 is 8 times 9. 8 is 3 2's. And 9 is 2 3's. So out of a square root, these 2 2's will turn into a 2, and these 2 3's will turn into a 3. All you have left under there is a 2. So what you end up having, that's going to give you 6, and you multiply it times a 9, which gives you 54. So you're going to have 12 minus 54 square root of 2 divided by 18. So you have to look at the 12 and the 54 to see what do they have in common. They both have a 6 in them. So if you pull a 6 out, you'll be left with the 2 minus 9, because 9 times 6 is 54, square root of 2. And that's all divided by 18. Then, only then, when you pull out the number, can you take that number and the one on the denominator and see if they can simplify. We know that 6 goes into 18 3 times. So our final answer would be 2 minus square root of 9, or 2 minus 9 square root of 2 divided by 3. Okay, let's say you had 6p plus the square root of 24p to the third, and you are dividing that by 3p. Well, you have to simplify the bottom, the inside of the square root. So you have 6p. 24 is 8 times 3, so that's 3 2's and a 3, and then 3 p's, because you have p to the third. And that's all divided by 3p. This is broken up. So square roots, these 2 2's will come out as a 2, and 2 p's will come out as a p, and that goes in the front. So what you're going to have is a 6p plus 2p square root of 6p, because you got 2 times 3 times p left, and that's divided by 3p. You have to look at each piece on the numerator and see what they have in common. There's 6p and there's 2p. There's a 2 inside of 6 and there's a p inside of p. So you can pull out a 2p. What do you have left? What times 2p will give you 6p is 3 plus the square root of 6p. And that's divided by 3p. So what cancels is the p's cancel. So what you end up having is you can call this 2 times 3 plus square root of 6p over 3, or you can call it 6 plus 2 square root of 6p if you multiply the 2 back out over 3. So both of these will be considered a right answer, and they're equal to each other. So let's look at one last one. So let's say we have 11y and we're subtracting it from the square root of 242y to the 5th divided by 22y. Well, if you look at 242, you do the tree, and that's 2 times 141. And 141 is 11 times 11. 121, I'm sorry. 2 times 121. And 121 give us 11 times 11. So 242 can be written as you have 11y minus the square root of 11 times 11 times 2. And then we have 5y's, because we have y to the 5th. And that's divided by 22y. Well, these two 11's will come out as 1 11. 2 y's will come out as 1 y. And 2 more y's will come out as 1 y. So what we end up having is 11y minus 11y squared times the square root of 2y. And that's all divided by 22y. Well, when we look at this part, 11y and 11y squared, we can pull an 11y out of that. And what we'll end up with is 1 minus y square root of 2y. So that's what you multiply back out to get 11y minus 11y squared times the square root of 2y. And that's divided by 22y. So when you look at it, the y's cancel, and 11 goes into 22 2 times. So our final answer would be 1 minus y square root of 2y divided by 2. And you can't go any further from this point.